Hey Student Success, this video is for Wednesday, March 25th, and once again it is sponsored by Comfy Clothes and Coffee. Hope you've all been doing well. I know I was able to reach most of you by phone the last couple of days, just touching base, making sure you need anything, see how you're doing. And so I just appreciate everyone's just flexibility, and unfortunately, we have to be flexible in this situation. There's not a whole lot else we can do or be. But thank you. And I hope everyone's still feeling healthy and feeling well. So week 9, you had your registration assignment, and that is due today on the 25th. So that counts as both a grade and as your week 9 attendance. So if you have not submitted your registration assignment, please do so by this evening. That way you can get those grades for registration and then for your attendance. Remember, if you haven't registered, especially in light of all the going on, that registration, let me try that again. That registration form does not lock you into that schedule. It is simply an idea of what you might take. If you don't end up following that exact schedule, that's okay. It's just an exercise in planning. All right, so this video should be fairly short and sweet. I would normally play the videos I'm about to play with you in class, but we're online. You can play those on your own and your own time for this week's particular assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and do some screen sharing again for a few minutes to explain what we will be doing. All right. There we go. So this week, let me get back to our lessons. In the Lessons tab, now I'm actually recording this a week in advance, so it's not open yet. It will be open by the time you see this, however. So week 10 is the Digital Library Week, and those words have taken a new meaning because we do in fact have a physical space for our library on campus, but right now we cannot access it. So it is truly a digital library right now. But the good news is we already have that in place. So I know the semester is all online, but for many of you, that does not mean that research projects and research papers and presentations and things of that nature have stopped. You still may have research. You still may have things you need to do. Even if it's not this semester, then in future semesters, it's still important to know how to access and use these particular resources. So what I'm going to recommend to you is when you get into week 10, go to the materials folder first. I know we're kind of used to getting right into assignments, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go to the materials folder. And it basically just, here's our objectives. We're talking about the digital library. You're going to click in the digital library and research process. These videos are what you're going to have to look, listen, watch in order to do well on the assignment. So you're going to click on, and I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but here is one of the links that you're going to follow. And there's a quick little video that talks about the digital library. And you can click along these tabs to give you more information about the digital library. Some of them will be video-based. I think actually maybe all of them are completely video-based. And there might be some text information there as well. So go in there. So this one talks all about researching. And the videos are usually, you can see like this one's 43 seconds. This one's 3 minutes. So they're not terribly long. They're manageable. So that's what that first link is. And a lot of these will actually kind of just take you to where we just were. So they're direct links. This takes you to the library website itself. So again, even though our campus is closed, we have these online resources. So we still have chats with the librarian. You can still request an appointment with a librarian, although it will be online. There are drop-in online hours, so there's still ways to access our resources. But this is the college's digital library webpage. We're just using it a little differently now that we're completely online. And then the contact information, again, this will take you to just the general college page and then specifically digital library right there. So I encourage you to take some time, click around, watch some of those videos, especially if you're not familiar with the digital library. If it's brand new to you, please spend some time looking around and listening and clicking into those particular videos on the digital library. Now, when you're ready, you'll go into the assignment folder and you'll see our assignment. We have one assignment this week. It's based on the digital library. It is due April 1st. And that's not an April Fool's joke. Anyway, April 1st is when this is due. This will also serve as week 10 attendance. So again, it's being assigned in week 10. Even though you're not turning it in till week 11, I am counting this as your week 10 attendance. This is how I know that you have been active throughout week 10. So when you click in, this will look a little familiar because there's a couple other assignments that have been set up in a similar fashion. And I'm going to pause it. So it's kind of this this moving slideshow where you'll listen to the slides, the information, and then you're going to see a series of questions. And that is where you can go back into your digital library resources here if you leave those up, and you can verify the information if you need to, or maybe you remember the answers without having to go back into them. Either way, that's what you're completing for April 1st. It's due April 1st. It is points for the assignment, and it is your week 10 attendance points. Okay, so that is really what we're doing for week 10. As I said, normally I would have popped the videos up. We would have maybe watched one or two. We would have explored the digital library together. So I'm encouraging you to do all that on your own. Make sure that you are, clicking around, looking at the digital library, see the resources, again, especially if you're not familiar, so that you know how to use it. Odds are this semester you may have already visited the digital library with another class. In a future semester, you more than likely will visit the digital library. I take all my reading courses and my college success course, so I know a lot of the comp instructors do, so you may end up going there eventually when the colleges reopen once again, hopefully this summer. So that is your week 10 assignment. So make sure, if you have not already, to submit your registration assignment. That was part of week 9. And then for week 10 library assignment, submit it by April 1st for week 10 attendance. I am also getting clarification on the campus workshops. I'm waiting to hear back from my coordinator. At this point, I'm going to make the assumption that it's no longer going to be a requirement, but I am checking with my coordinator just to make sure I have the authority to go ahead and cancel those assignments. I know some of you have already attended a workshop or you became a member of TRIO to meet that requirement. I will still honor those points and they will still build into your grade, probably even as extra credit, just since you did something that at this point we're probably not going to require anymore. But I will let you know for sure about that student workshop requirement, because there are still some online sessions, and so that's what I was double checking to make sure that it was going to be still part of our class or not. So I will get back to you on the student workshop requirements. Okay, if you need anything, email me, Blackboard message me. Most of you have my cell phone number now if you need to call or text me, because I've been calling and touching base with you this past week. Okay, hope everyone's doing well, and talk to you soon.